Hello and welcome everyone. I hope आपको मेरे वीडियोस पसंद आ रहे हैं and you're enjoying learning through this new process. So guys, आज के इस वीडियो में we're going to discuss the important questions and answers of the last lesson. कुछ ऐसे questions जिनके chances हैं board exams में आने के और कुछ आ भी चुके. So while discussing this, मैंने सोचा है कि क्यों ना हम वो पुराना boring method को छोड़ के कुछ नया try करें. अब वो नया क्या हो सकता है? Let me tell you all. So guys, as I told you in one of the videos कि जब हम लोग summary सुनते हैं तो हम अपने mind में answers frame कर लेते हैं और ऐसे ही जब हम mind में answers frame कर लेते हैं तो mind में इतने सारे answers होते हैं कि जब हम उसे लिखने बैठते हैं then we miss one of the 2 points. But then how can we memorize these points and how can we write the answers? ये चीज भी हम आज के वीडियो में डिस्कस करेंगे. I'm going to tell you some insights, some important tips as to how to attempt your answer. अब आप लोग सोच रहे होंगे कि वो कौन सा मेथड है जिससे we can get good marks. After all, पढ़ते तो सभी एक जैसे हैं. So let me tell you one thing. आज के question answers हम paragraphs की फॉर्म में नहीं, points की फॉर्म में डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. Why points? Because जब हम कोई भी आंसर को points के फॉर्म में अपने माइंड में फ्रेम कर लेते हैं, it is easier to write those answers. And in that case, also we make lesser mistakes. Here are the important questions of the last lesson. चलिए चलते हैं अपने first question की तरफ. So our first question of the day is, what did Franz notice that was unusual about the school that day? Now, when we're going to read the points, we understand what were the things that the Franz noticed that was unusual, that was different, that was strange. And while reading the points, we will be able to frame the answer of the question. So the first point is, usually when school began, there would be a lot of commotion. As we all know that at that day when Franz went to school, everything was quiet, standstill, and all his classmates were already settled in their places. The student and M.HAMEL was walking up and down with this terrible iron ruler under his arm. So here we have 4 points that we have to cover in this question. First, that unlike usual days, there was no commotion, no hustle bustle, and no noise. And everything was quiet and standstill. All his classmates, they were quietly settled at their places. The environment was as if it was a Sunday morning. And M.HAMEL, he was walking up and down with this terrible iron ruler under his arm. I hope you have understood the first question. So now, let's move on to the next question. And our next question says, what changes did the order from Berlin cause in the school that day? That means, what was the order? The order from Berlin came which said that now no French would be taught in the districts of Alsace and Lorraine and only German would be taught in the schools. And what changes? That means, what were the changes that this order it brought in the school that day? Now, it brought all the hustle and bustle of the school life to a standstill. Everything was very quiet. Everybody was settled in their places. The backbenches of the school, they were filled with the older people from the village who were there to pay respect to the M.HAMEL. And also, there was changes in the feeling of Franz and all the other people towards M.HAMEL. Everybody was quiet and everybody was more attentive. There was sadness among everyone. And why there was sadness? Because they were unable to learn the French and now they will not get any more chance to do that. I hope you got this question. The third question says, how did Franz's feelings for M.HAMEL change? So, फ्रांस की फीलिंग्स अपने स्कूल के लिए और M.HAMEL के लिए कैसे चेंज हुई? ऐसा क्या हुआ कि फ्रांस की फीलिंग्स अचानक से ही बदल गई? So जब M.HAMEL ने बताया that German would be taught to them from the next class, Franz was shocked. He was extremely sad. And at that very moment, he forgot about his teacher's ruler. He became sympathetic towards his teacher. उसे अपनी टीचर के लिए बहुत sympathy आ गई. And he thought that now his books were also his old friends. जिस बुक से वो पहले बिल्कुल भी पढ़ाई करने का उसका मन नहीं करता था, बिल्कुल भी उसे पढ़ने का उसको मन नहीं करता था, those very books, they became his old friends. वो books उसकी अच्छी friends बन गई. He developed a sign of respect for his teacher. वो अपने टीचर के लिए रिस्पेक्ट शो करने लग गया and he regret, उसे बुरा लगा that he was not attentive before in his class. जो difficult concepts भी थे क्लास में वो उसे समझ आने लग गए and he developed a great feeling of respect for M.HAMEL. M.HAMEL के लिए उसे बहुत ज़्यादा respect आ गई. So the next question is, Franz thinks, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? What could this mean? इस question का मतलब है that Franz सोचता है कि क्या जैसे वो प्रशंस हम पर जर्मन लैंग्वेज इम्पोज कर रहे हैं, क्या इसी मैनर में, इसी सेम मैनर में वो लोग पिजन्स को भी फोर्स कर सकते हैं कि वो जर्मन में गाए, जर्मन में सिंग करें? सो द आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चंस विल बी, प्रशंस चाहते थे कि वो अपनी लैंग्वेज फ्रेंच को फ्रांस के लोगों पर इम्पोज कर सके. They wanted German to be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine instead of French. But their language to them was as natural as cooing was to pigeons. फ्रेंच के लोगों के लिए उनकी लैंग्वेज वैसे ही उतनी ही नेचुरल थी जैसे कूइंग होती है पिजन्स के लिए. And it was almost impossible to alter the way the pigeon sings. That वो लोग हम पे इम्पोज तो कर सकते हैं अपनी लैंग्वेज, पर हमें फोर्स नहीं कर सकते फ्रेंच के लिए अपना लव छोड़ने के लिए. German, they could enslave French, but they cannot take their love away from the French language. I hope this question is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. What a thunderclap these words were to me. What were the words that shocked and surprised little Franz? इस क्वेश्चन का क्या मतलब है? इस क्वेश्चन का मतलब है कि ऐसे कौन से वर्ड्स थे जो कि शॉक की तरह, जो कि थंडरक्लैप की तरह आए थे सामने. And those words were, जब M.HAMEL ने सबके सामने अनाउंसमेंट की थी that French will no longer be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. That an order has come from Berlin. एक order आया है बर्लिन से कि from the very next day they would be taught German instead of French. And also that a new master would come to teach them German from the very next day. So guys, ये थे वो 3 points जो हम cover करेंगे इस question में. The first was that this was the last French lesson. Next point, an order has come from Berlin that now no French would be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. And from the very next day, a new master would come and teach them German. So guys, ये तो था हमारा इस question का answer. Let's move on to the next question. And the next question is, what did M.HAMEL tell them about the French language? Why did he ask them to do, what did he ask them to do and why? M.HAMEL ने उन्हें फ्रेंच लैंग्वेज के बारे में क्या बताया और उनसे क्या करने को कहा. इस क्वेश्चन में ये पॉइंट्स कवर होंगे that M.HAMEL said that the French is the most beautiful language, the most clearest and the most logical language. He also said that as long as the people guard their language, it acts as a key to their prison. And they can attain any kind of freedom if they keep their language with themselves. तो हम ये points अपने दिमाग में रखेंगे. पहला was the French is the most beautiful and the most clear language, and as long as the people hold fast to their language, as long as people hold their language, जब तक उनकी language उनके पास रहती है, वो एक की तरह काम करती है, एक चाबी की तरह काम करती है to their prison. And with this, they can attain any kind of freedom. I hope the answer of this question is also clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is a very important question, as this question has already come in the board examinations. So, the question क्या है? The question है that educating children is the responsibility of the society. Justify the statement in the view of the last lesson. अब इस क्वेश्चन को जब हम पढ़ते हैं तो इस क्वेश्चन का मतलब भी समझ लेते हैं. बच्चों को, चिल्ड्रन को एजुकेट करने में हमारी सोसाइटी बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करती है और इस चैप्टर में भी हमने ऐसा ही कुछ पढ़ा है. सो व्हाट ऑल इम्पोर्टेंट रोल डज द सोसाइटी प्ले, और वो क्या क्या इंस्टेंसेस हैं जो हम चैप्टर से जस्टिफाई कर सकते हैं कि कैसे कैसे जो सोसाइटी है वो चिल्ड्रन की स्टडीज को इम्पैक्ट करती है. सो गाइस, इस क्वेश्चन में हम बताएंगे कि सोसाइटी कैसे बच्चों की एजुकेशन को इम्पैक्ट करती है और इस लेसन में कैसे जो फ्रांस था और भी दूसरे बच्चे थे उनके एजुकेशन पे उनके आसपास की सराउंडिंग्स ने क्या As we have already discussed in the chapter कि बच्चों को फ्रेंच ना आने का रीजन ना कि सिर्फ वो खुद थे बट एम हैमलर्स की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी उनके पेरेंट्स और खुद को भी देता है. He says that society plays a very important role in the education of the children. So the answer to this question would be society plays a very important role in the education of the children. Society एक बहुत ही important role play करती है बच्चों की education. And the instances from the story are Franz used to skip his classes whenever he wanted to go out, spend his time out of the doors for seeking birds' eggs, or go sliding on the sand. Also, his parents, they were never interested for sending him to school for studies. They always preferred sending them to work so that they could earn a little more money. M.HAMEL उनके parents को blame करता है, वो खुद को भी blame करता है. He said that whenever he wanted to go out for fishing, he used to give them a holiday. And he also asked them to water his flowers instead of giving them time to learn their lessons. ये तीन instances हम इस answer में cover करेंगे. First, Franz, whenever he wanted to go out and spend his merry time, he used to skip his lessons. Second, his parents were not interested to send him to school for study. उसके पेरेंट्स को इंटरेस्ट नहीं था कि उसे स्कूल में भेजे पढ़ने के. Rather than they used to send him to work so that वो थोड़े पैसे earn कर सके. They could earn some money. And also, M.HAMEL, he would send them to water his flowers instead of giving them time to learn their lessons. वो उन्हें अपने काम करने भेजता था. And whenever he wanted to go for fishing, he would just give them a holiday. I hope after discussing these questions आपको समझ में आ गया होगा इसको कैसे पॉइंट्स में मेमोराइज कर सकते हैं और जब हम लिखने बैठेंगे तो जब हम पॉइंट्स को वन आफ्टर वन लिखेंगे तो आंसर अपने आप ही फ्रेम हो जाएगा. जैसे कि आप अपने और सब्जेक्ट्स के आंसर्स मेमोराइज करने के लिए छोटे छोटे नोट्स बनाते हो ऐसे ही इंग्लिश के क्वेश्चंस को मेमोराइज करने के लिए आप आंसर्स के छोटे छोटे नोट्स फॉर्म कर लो इन द फॉर्म ऑफ पॉइंट्स. सो व्हेन यू विल राइट द पॉइंट्स one after the other, the answer will automatically be flipped. और आपको ज़्यादा मेहनत भी नहीं करनी पड़ेगी. Discussion of the answers in such a manner becomes fruitful for you. और आप लोग भी ऐसे points बना के answers को learn करें. In the end, I would only like to say thank you very much. I hope आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आएगी and it will be fruitful to you. And if you have any questions, any queries, it is always welcome in the comment box. So hit the like button and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Your suggestions are always welcomed in the comment box. Thank you. Stay tuned for the rest of the videos.